do. Hello and welcome. I'm just getting set up over here. Starting a lot later than I had planned. Microphone looks okay. Actually, does that? Yeah, okay, that's okay. Have to make sure that I'm using the right microphone and that my computer has not decided to use a different device as a microphone. Okay, so let's get going. I don't have too much time. We're going to be doing two things today. We're going to be working on Dungeon Level 2 and non-item containers. And we're not going to finish either of these. But we are going to make progress on both of them because both of these need a thing. They need, I don't know what to call them yet. I've been thinking about this for a while, but they need doodads or mechanisms or things that you can use in the dungeon. So, like levers, we need levers. We need chests. We need portals. They're not items. You can't pick them up. They're not mobs. They don't move around. They're something. We gotta think of a word for this, and I just am constantly running into this problem, and this is the same problem over and over, and I should probably just think of a permanent name for. They're not decos. They're not decors. In Martian Rogue, I called them props, like a door. I mean, I guess prop is fine. I was kind of hoping like I could call them something more mechanisms. I think I'm going to go with mechanism. And if I don't like it, I'll change it. So we got mechanisms. What is a mechanism? A mechanism is a thing in the world that you can interact with in some way, and it does something. We are going to, first of all, create mechanisms, and then we're going to make a portal mechanism. So if you use it, you teleport to the other end. And when I say use, that can either be right-clicking on it, or that can be touching it, or both. Just for our purposes, we'll make it a right-click. And then we'll have another mechanism that has an inventory component. And when you right click on it, you open the inventory component. And you can transfer back and forth. And that's all. Attach script. Mechanism. Mechanism is a class name. We can attach, we don't need to attach any components because we can do that programmatically based on whatever we're cooking up. So we're going to want to have a position component. I'm pretty sure that's a component. Yes. This thing has a position. This thing also might have, I mean, it might have an inventory, but a think component, maybe not. Okay, just to implement a portal, what I need is, first of all, this needs to exist in the world. So we go to the map here, and we'll need to create a new tile map layer. And we will call it mechanisms. And in the absence of any artwork or anything like that, we'll just use the default Godot one, tile map, tile set, add an atlas, and that atlas is here. Yes. Cool, and no, actually the texture region is 32 by 32. Nope, that's what am I doing? Oh, that should, why isn't that? Why does that result in this being wrong? It's right here. Why is it wrong here? Oh, no. I don't understand. Whatever. Let's go ahead and put a tile down. Why is it so big? What? Something's not right. What if I reset? Let's go ahead and re-add this. Yes, there we go. And now that is like that. So we can grab a very tiny, okay, this is correct. But the problem is this is 16 by 16 and I want 32 by 32. I'm like, okay, that's 32 by 32, but I want this to be a single unit. So why is it off center like that? It just is. It just is. That's just how it is. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this somewhere and then we will instruct the level gen helper to put a portal here and here, and then we will have a system where when we right click on this, something will happen. Let's just one step at a time. Okay, where we are adding that in, we're gonna go to the level gen helper now. Item spawn helper, that's what it's called. Get item data. Nope, this is not the function. Where is it? Get item data. What is this getting called? Oh, we never moved this out of main. Oh. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, well, when is this function getting called? Spawn starting items. Oh, these are all connected. Okay, okay. So I should just network handler.on server start.connect spawn starting mechanism. item spawner dot spawn. Ooh, these aren't items, so I shouldn't use the item spawner, but I believe this thing can handle multiple things. Let me look in this. Yeah, so we can just like clone the code, and then instead of spawn item, just here, let's just duplicate this. And instead of a network item, we'll call it a network mechanism. Oh, we need to detach this and then create a new one. Where's this? Oh, this is in here? Okay. Subcomponent. Where's my item spawner function? Network. Okay, this can go in network too. Okay, we just take this code, copy it. Network mechanism. We're not here yet. Mechanism data. Okay, and we need to have a new little set of these. Okay. These are all return strings. Okay, great. And we have this function, and it should be set up. Nope, not yet. Hold on. One more step. We take the mechanism scene here. We slap it in there, and we're good. Okay. So we've spawned a mechanism. We need to give it a function. We don't need this process. I would like my mechanisms to have a sprite, so let's just give them a sprite for now. Okay. There we go. And then if we hit save, Whoops. Okay, and we see our mechanism is there. But it might... We don't actually toggle the visibility. It might just be that this is like... a leftover from the tile map editor. So let's do that, and then... Yeah, it's still there. Okay. We can right click on it, but it doesn't exist. We need to update our right click. Also, I would like it to be drawn behind things. Probably because of the order. When we spawn it, that is resulting in it being drawn last, but we can fix that just by doing this. And honestly, items should probably be spawned like so. Yeah, okay. That doesn't result in us like drawing over the walls, but whatever. We need to add a, okay, so when we right click, I need to, at the moment, I'm only capturing items, but I also need to capture mechanisms. So I think that's a player thing when I right click. Input handler? Could be an input handler thing. That would make sense. Yeah, here it is. We are get global mouse position, direct space state dot intersect point. Why? Oh, because we don't have a. It should list this. Oh, it will only click that if we have a collision box for it to click on. Right, so items have a collision box, I believe. Yes, a collision shaped 2D. So we need our mechanism to have probably the same one. Copy. Paste. What is this? This is a static body 2D. Therefore, this is a static body 2D. Boom. Yeah, so now we should be able to right click on it. Also, does that add collision? I don't know if it does. It does not. Oh, did we just try and pick it up? Yeah, we did. No, do not do that. Need to make sure it's a not. It's not an item, so like. Okay, there. Now we're colliding with it. Zero mech. Oh, also we're colliding with the wall tiles. Was that always the case? I hope so. Okay. elif collider is mechanism. Use mechanism command dot new player collider dot execute print use on collider. None of this exists, and we're not entirely sure if it needs to exist yet. What does item do when we create it? We get an item data. There's a get sprite. There's a use function and an event function and a think function, but these are placeholders. I mean, not that placeholders. They activate functionality for item data. So the real meat and potatoes is an item data, and well, we've got a lot of those. So this is pretty thin in terms of what we need. Mob has this think here, and I don't want this think here, but that's a different problem. We're going to leave this ready alone for now, but we're going to func use for now. I would like for this to oh boy, okay. So we need to connect this to the other exit. And we need to do this in a way that is scalable because there's going to be more than 2 exits in the entire game. So we need to be able to just connect 2 specific exits. Do I need an exit manager? Would it help to have a global whose job it is to manage exits? It might be, because we can set it up to be like every exit when it's created registers a channel, and if 2 exits register a channel, then they connect. And if more than 2 exits register a channel, then we can just throw an error and say don't do that. And if an exit only has 1 channel, we can let the handler handle that. I think that's what it's going to take. So if we make an exit handler, or we could have that be part of the what the object handler does. This thing's kind of bloated, and I am going to get rid of it, so maybe not. Exit handler. Okay. There we go. The exit handler, it does not have a ready, and it does not have any of this. We can model it off the object handler. Just extend the node, and it has a bunch of variables. Var exits. We can make this a dictionary of arrays, similar to the spell handler. We have this. And instead of a player, we want to use, what did I just say a second ago? String channel. The channel can be a string. Okay. Array.size. Okay. Okay, and then we need to be able to connect exits together. So in order to do that, we need to connect get exits. We want to return exit registry.get channel name. So just in the desire to just get this functional for now, and then we'll clean it up later. I am going to make it so that when you create this thing, it's going to register itself with the exit. We're going to say exit 1 self, and then we're going to do exit handler dot get what the heck? Why is this a mob? It's not a mob. Oh, we don't have mechanism defined yet. I see the problem. Back up. It's right there. What do you mean it's not defined? Oh, it's because this is broken. I see. Pass. Hi. Hello, Sudat. How's it going? We get the exits, and then for exit in exits, if exit is not self, connected exit equals exit. And normal things. Cool. We connect these exits up. And then on use, I don't know, print self dot format self connected exit. That's all. we're just gonna print. In order to make this happen, we need to issue a command, I believe. Because we're right-clicking out on the client side, but we need the exit to move us, and that can only be done on the server side. So we do need to create a new command. Use mechanism command. Are you a solo dev? Yep. Target an actor. Yeah, we're not moving item. We're using mechanism. Okay. Use mechanism. We're getting the target, and then we don't need the player inventory. We just need to call. We need to get the player sender node. That's not true. We do need the player sender node, and we should pass that in to the use to say who is using us. User actor. And we can actually just say target dot. We can do one of those on them, and then now everything should be set up so that when we trying to assign a variable type nil to a variable of type array. I'm not trying to assign anything. Oh, maybe I can't have this. Didn't I copy this from... I don't know. What are your goals? Like, what are you trying to achieve? I'm trying to make a game. We're going to make a multiplayer dungeon crawler. Basically just an exercise in learning multiplayer coding, but you know, maybe make a fun game at the same time. That'd be great. So we right click on this, use on ZeroMech. I'm not seeing the actual RPC because we're not calling it, because I commented that out. I'm smart. Uncomment that. Thank you. Ba, 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 ba. Today, we're just trying to achieve being able to move to dungeon level 2 and non-item containers, and we're not going to finish. We are just implementing dungeon mechanisms so that we have the foundation to make that stuff next time. So if I right click on this, exits are 0 mech and 1 mech. Okay, perfect. So now what we can do is we can say, whenever you right click on me, set your position to my connected exit. There it is. Dot position equals connected exit dot position. That should be all we need. We right click and now we're over here. And if we right click, we'll go back. Yeah. That's exactly what I want. Now we may have to, okay. Yeah. We've got some aggro. I grab this sword. We may have to adjust the game logic. Like for instance, when we use this, cancel our movement. I think that's a fair thing to do. Also, when we use this, maybe drop aggro. Everything that's aggroed on us should drop aggro. Like, I don't understand why that's happening. This I understand. Nope. Is this like blocking the pathfinding? Is that what's going on? How long have you been making games or just programming? Since January. This is my second game. Yeah, I think this is just blocking the pathfinding. There was a solution to that, but I don't remember if that solution. That's amazing. Thanks. I don't remember if that is if I implement it, will I still be able to right click on the thing? So let's go over here. Let's just experiment. Because the collision right here, what layer do we have items on? They're on layer 2. What if we put our mechanisms on layer 2? Oh, but then we can walk through them. Maybe that's fine. I think we can operate under that. We can operate by default. You can walk through mechanisms. If we have a mechanism that we want, like a gate or a door, we can toggle the collision. But by default, let's just assume, hey, you can walk through. All right, let's use this. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, now we can. I mean, we're basically done. We will bust that knowledge, that functionality out into a mechanism data. For now, let's just comment it out. We can leave this print line here. What I would like to do is add an inventory component to this thing and then make it so that when you right click on it, it opens the inventory. We have that logic already. The bag. How does this work? We're just calling create UI element. That's it? This is easy. Let's try it. Let me just get this. But we're not an item. We are a self, and we don't have an inventory component. This should be get child. I should be calling get child, not get node. Cannot pass a value of type string as int. What? Oh, Suadot, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Get child takes an int? I did not know that. Okay, never mind. Let's stick with get node. I don't know what the performance. So the performance of get child is at least as good as the performance of our object handler. So we should just not have the object handler. I don't know if the performance of get node is equivalent. I would need to look that up. I need to look at the code, or the code for Godot. Anyway, we'll stick with this. We can... We're done. We just need to add the inventory component. Let me just do that real quick. Boom. Okay. That did not open up. That did not do that. Okay, but if we do this, that does open that. Okay. I do not want this to be a long thing. So we're absolutely calling this function because we're getting this exits are 0 and 1. Create UI element. If we go in here and we go to create UI element, so we're instantiating a new thing. We're putting it at 100.100. And then we are doing a bunch of stuff. And then we're adding it to the UI layer. Let's look at the remote. What is happening when we right click? The problem, okay, I'm realizing now. The problem is, so when I right click on this, that's all client side. That was weird. That's all client side. So it works on the client. When I right click this is server side. If I bring this over here, we can see the inventory is popped up on the server. That's the problem. Well, we can... That's not something we have to solve right now. Well, but I have time. So I will think for a second. If we had a command like use item exec client, we could have a mechanism, a variable that's like this. If target.itemdata.useClient, then target use. Otherwise, send the RPC. We could do that. Okay, and then we go to the mechanism and we have use client equals true. Okay, that's all. We've done it. We've added a new inventory, one that's invalid access. What? Oh, there's no player breadcrumb because well, this isn't in a player's inventory. I promised that I would solve this, so I'm gonna solve it right now. This means that we can't affect that inventory. But like we need to affect that inventory. Game programming and debugging looks very hard. I want to make my own game, but I don't think I know where to start. Do you have any tips? The tutorial for Godot is good. That's where I started. And then I joined a game jam, and that's how I got here. I did a lot of learning by watching videos of, like, I want my game to do X. Let me look up a YouTube video for how to do this in Godot. And there's 2 or 3, and I picked one. And the more you do that, the more you build in terms of, like, things you can do. And it just takes time, but yeah, that's how I learned. So I think that's pretty good. What if I just commented this out and we just said anyone can affect anyone's inventory? I think that won't fly. Oh, but it might, because swap item is a server-side command. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Why? It's not because this is intended, right? Oh, invalid call, non-existent function, set item in base nil. Non-existent function duplicate in base nil. What do you mean? There is a UI sprite. How is there not a UI sprite? Okay. I am too low energy to figure this out. I regret signing up for this. Let me get that potion. I open up my second inventory. I can't drag anything. We can drag here, here, here. But if I drag here, nothing. And then if I try and drag, it's just like, no, you can't do that. What is going on? If we go back, to here. Okay, so we've got an inventory slot. All inventory components have inventory slots just by ARD code. If an inventory component dot player breadcrumb dot name equals the multiplayer get unique ID, then we set the UI node's item of this slot. But we can only do that if we've called build UI. We don't call that function here. Okay, where do we call that function? We call it in the inventory component on create UI element. When do we call that function? Oh, that's how we're opening the inventory. Okay. So we are calling create UI element, and as part of that, we are getting build UI called. Presumably this is why. Okay, let me see it again. Non-existent function and base no. Okay, so this texture rect doesn't exist. So what am I clicking on? Let me see what is actually being created in the remote. So we have a game. Here's the UI layer. We've got a drop catcher and some stuff. This looks like the client. So we right click on this, and now we have a mech UI layer. And if we look in here, I mean, we have all the color recs. The UI sprite is null, but that's because there's nothing in there. And there is an inventory slot. So we should be good. This should look identical. Yeah, these look identical. So like, why doesn't this work? Grab the torch. You don't have an item. Why did the item not land? Oh. Okay, but there is an item there for me to drag on. It's just not there. There's no item. The swap. Okay, when I swap, it should tell me what I'm swapping, right? Swap items, color rec 13 and color rec 14. Okay, what is this swap? Color rect and color rec 33. Oh no, color rec 16 and color rec 33. Okay. I noticed that when we call that, we're not getting this function set, and we're not connecting this signal. That's there. The light is there. Okay. You know what? I do not have the brain power to fix this. I am going to put this off till tomorrow. We're going to spend a little more time making this a little more robust. We're going to put this as a partial work in progress. Next time we will flesh that out a little more. I'm only going to be creating this portal, this exit. I do have future plans for fleshing this out more, but that's not a stage 1 thing, so I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to, once I get this portal, the exit set up, we're done. And then for the non-item containers, we get this chest in, and then we're done there. Then we move on to just making 4 mobs. Adding 4 mobs. Check errors debug. I can do that real quick before I head out. So if I right click here, okay, so node not found. No errors. That must be the server. Yeah, okay. Nothing yet. Then we go to the here. Oh, shoot. Did that create an error? No, it's still at 127. Okay, and then I put this here. 131. Okay, so we generated some errors. Where are they? Node not found. An item slot 22. What? Why is it trying to find a blank node? We're trying to set X here. Parameter node is null. If we go to 0 mech, go to the inventory component. There should be something here, and there is. It's 7 item. This is set. There's the UI node, but it doesn't have. Why is this? Why is this saying the name is not set? It is set. Yeah, it's 7 item. Node not found, but it's right there. Yeah, I'm gonna put that off. We'll have future me solve this for me. And debugging, you know, that can either be a 5-minute fix or it could take 60 hours. Who knows? I'm hoping 5 minutes, but we'll get through it next time. This is fine. We'll get through this and then cram out some mobs. Okay, I gonna rest. Thanks for watching. Hope this was hope your game dev goes well. Hope you're having lots of fun playing lots of games. Hope you got good weather. Till next time. See you, folks.